Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Bucket List by Only in Your State. I am here with my co host, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Marissa.
So, we're back. We're talking about New Jersey. I'm
hmm
super pumped. How do you feel about New Jersey overall? Nice things only.
oh, so I really have nothing but nice things to share about New Jersey. I haven't been,
Perfect.
I haven't been in it a lot. There was a couple strange. The last time I was in New Jersey, I flew into Newark, and I took a cab into the city, and it was a very strange cab ride from Newark to the city because the cab was turning off every couple of seconds, like literally overheating. So the guy would just like turn off the car and we'd be cruising because it was overheating. And I'm like, hey, is everything okay? Like, we can get out. And he's like, no, 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 no. So he got up at this like random gas station in New Jersey and was like trying to top off his coolant
Oh my God.
and went through the tunnel doing the same thing where it's like overheating. Oh, we're just going to turn it off and turn it back on to go another few inches. So, um, that was my last time in New Jersey. That's not representative
Wow.
of my time in New Jersey, but
Okay.
it was what a time.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting and typical story for New Jersey, especially out of Newark. Um,
Yeah. But no, I would love to spend
wow.
more time there, especially seeing some of the things that are on this list. I haven't visited enough.
Yeah. Yes, I think that New Jersey is so underrated, and
Mhm.
I'm not just biased because that's where I was born and raised, but I do think it's one of those states where it gets a bad rap.
It
Just
does.
like
Yeah.
overall, I feel like even pre Jersey Shore, people just thought
Mm.
of New Jersey as like this garbage heap of a state, which is the furthest thing from the truth.
Okay, so to be fair, I did not think about Jersey Shore any point researching this. It's not even on my
Okay.
radar. So
Okay.
I maybe we're past that in society. We don't have to worry.
I
But
hope so.
I just view New Jersey as a cost-effective family suburb of a state. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's close to a lot of stuff, but I feel like you can settle down in New Jersey, whereas other places are, you know, an arm and a leg. So
That's true. No, that's a good point. I always thought about going back to New Jersey and living out my days there. Maybe eventually, but it's also
yeah.
like hella expensive to live there now,
Also, still
which
like, look, I mean, since 2020, the housing prices compared
right.
to the income is wild. Like, even just
Yeah.
looking around in Ohio, you know what? Separate conversation. But yeah, New Jersey. I mean, Lambertville, New Jersey slash New Hope, Pennsylvania does look like an amazing place to be. So if you
Yeah.
haven't listened to our podcast episode on Lambertville, you got to scroll back and take a listen, take a peep.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a fun
hmm
episode to record, actually. All right, so do you want to dive into your weirdest fact about New Jersey to kick off this episode?
So I don't have one.
Oh, okay, cool. I have a couple.
I'm so
So
sorry.
no, no,
Everything I know about New Jersey is centered on the New Jersey Devil, and I think we've already covered that.
we did. Shout out to our other podcast episode, local lore and legends. Also, scroll back.
Man, I am
Um,
just like my batting average today is terrible. I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool. Actually, in preparation, I have more than one fact, so I will
Perfect.
help us out with this one. So, first of all, New Jersey's pretty weird in general. I think that's just like safe to say. And
Yeah. Yeah.
uh so I feel like some of their weird facts are like a little normal for them, I guess. I don't know, but anything.
Okay.
So New Jersey has a state seashell called
Okay.
the knobbed whelk, which I feel like not a lot of I live in Florida now and I don't even think we have a state seashell. I didn't, is that a thing like that? I'm assuming you're
So,
googling the
does the
knobbed
knobbed
whelk.
whelk live in conch shells?
I think
Conch
so,
shells?
yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Also,
sea snail. Predatory sea snail.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So be careful on those beaches, because yowza.
They gonna get you.
Yeah, they gonna get you. So another couple of just very quick fun facts. The state dance. Do you have any idea what that could be for New Jersey?
Oh, the Macarena.
What?
Am I
Interesting.
close?
No, it's the
Mm.
square dance.
Really? Have you ever danced in a square?
No, no, I have not. Not well, if anything, or not intentionally, I'm sure. Um,
Wow, square dancing. Okay.
yeah, and cheerleading began in New Jersey.
Oh,
Interesting. If you're a
okay.
fan of cheerleading, didn't
I don't
know
think I
this.
feel either way about that, but
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
neutral fact then. And there is a state dinosaur, the Hadrosaurus, who they say probably lived at the Jersey Shore.
So was it a sea creature?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to look up a picture because that's terrifying, but I trust. Maybe it's the original. Does New Jersey have a Nessie, like a Jessie, or
Not that I know of, to be honest. But
just a real dinosaur? So
yeah, just the original ones.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I love those. Okay. I'm going to be ready for the next episode we record because
Okay.
I want to talk about some state facts.
Yeah, next one is Florida. So I'm assuming there will be a long list.
Yeah.
So we are, for anybody that's joining us for the first time, welcome. This season, we are talking about quintessential stops in each state. These are places that we poll our audience on Facebook, we ask our coworkers. We're basically looking to find the best spots in every state that, say you have a friend in town, where do you take them for the first time?
Yep.
These are the places. Some of them are a little bit more niche, some of them are more touristy and popular. It's just like a really nice collective.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, do you want to kick us off for our first New Jersey stop?
Yeah, sure. And I'm going to start with a favorite at onlyinyourstate.com, and that is the Grounds for Sculpture that we have featured a few times on the site. And I just think for good reason. It is a beautiful sculpture garden with nearly 300 contemporary sculptures across 42 acres. There are indoor sculptures, outdoor sculptures, exhibits, and it's just like a really cool place if you want to show someone around and have a nice afternoon. And they even have workshops, events, tours, concert performances. And I think it opened in 1992. And it used to be the New Jersey State Fairgrounds at this location. And yeah, it's just like one of those outdoor sculpture gardens that I think you'll always see something fascinating, something for everyone. And yeah, you should check it out.
Very cool. Do you, sorry, I don't know if you said this. Are there rotating exhibits or it's just like,
There are, yeah.
okay,
So I
cool.
think most of the sculptures outside are permanent, but there are
Okay,
indoor exhibitions and rotating artists and workshops and things like that.
cool. Very cool. Love a good
Yeah.
sculpture garden. Awesome. Okay, so my first choice is none other than Seaside Heights. Gotta love it. And this has nothing to do with the Jersey Shore, but
So is
uh,
this a neighborhood?
so it's a Seaside Heights is a borough. It's on the Jersey Shore, so it's located in
Okay.
Ocean County, but it's more of an area, and they have this really incredible boardwalk
Hmm.
that it's just like I grew up going to Seaside Heights, and it used to be, I don't know anymore, but it used to be very family friendly, and there are rides, roller coasters, games. You can buy taffy, you can get a huge
Mm.
slice of pizza, little t-shirts with your name spray painted on it.
Salt life. And
Yeah.
then
Right.
I do.
Exactly.
So if you were to go back to Seaside Heights, go to the boardwalk, what's your number one boardwalk stop? Like, what do you need to do if you're at a boardwalk?
Wow, what a great question. Probably so there there was this haunted ride that it was like a scary ride where you're sitting in this two-car seater situation. It's just two seats, you and another person hunched in there. I went with my grandmother, mind you. And I was terrified, obviously, as you know from recording our other episodes. This is not my
This is what started it all.
wheelhouse. Yes. So it was really funny. I went through it with my grandma and I was screaming and everything, and she was just like stone cold. She's from New York. And but then we get to the end and there was just like a worker standing there that had nothing to do with anything, was just like making sure
Yeah.
people were okay. Not scary at all, but my grandma screamed so loud at just the worker. Like nothing else jumping out at us or anything. It was just like the employee there.
She
That's
knows
like
people are the real danger.
right. Yeah.
Wise.
So that's like my fondest memory. I don't know if that ride is still there, but if it was, then I would do that for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Are you good with Seaside Heights? Move on to the
Yeah.
next. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna go to just kind of, it almost didn't make the list, but I wanted it to. And it's Princeton University. I know I've talked about Duke University before on the podcast. I'm just a sucker for like old architecture and being able to walk around in a very like picturesque way. Like I want a picnic, I want fall leaves, I want to sit down in the grass and watch people do things. So to me, going to this university, which is, the fourth oldest institution of higher ed in the United States, and just like, so it's old timey. It's like it's been there forever. It's an Ivy League school. I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I can go wander around one. That's what I can do. So the campus covers more than 2,000 acres, and 600 are the main campus. So for me, I would just love to like walk around and pretend, a little bit and just look at all the castle-y buildings. And I think it's worth checking out. Like, going to all these like esteemed institutions, I think is a cool thing to do.
I agree. There's something that I love about like a very old campus.
Yeah.
Especially when you can go and just maybe get a pass to the library or, take a walking tour because there's so much
Absolutely.
history. Like to me, it's worth it.
Yeah, and see what the youth are up to nowadays. What are them youths doing?
Polling the kids. How's life on campus?
Do I look cool?
Oh man, that just reminded me of that movie Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore. If you see it where she goes back to high school, gosh,
Yeah. Hello, fellow children.
You guys doing the TikToks? Anyway, so yes, excellent choice, Princeton University. I'm adding to the list a very important stop for me. M&M Mars Factory, which is in my it's not where I was born, but I would say it's my hometown, Hackettstown, New Jersey. This is where M&Ms are made, and you used to be able to take a factory tour, which to me, because it's just M&M Mars it's more than like it's Mars Incorporated. So they had Mars bars, they had like a ton of different varieties of candy.
Yeah.
Most popular was M&Ms. But yeah, they don't let you take factory tours anymore, which I think is such a bummer. I don't know.
It is a bummer.
But yeah, my high school class, because I was in a gardening club, I guess. I don't know. But so
gardening club, go to the M&M factory. That's
yeah, we planted a bunch of their trees and stuff because it's this huge factory, cool. Beautiful acreage, and they all gave us a tour, and it was just very cool to see how M&Ms are made. So
I am a sucker for those like how it's made kind of shows, like if you're like going on the conveyor belt and what's happening, like is it dipped, is it what's going on, how do they make those little M's?
Yeah, yes, no, it was a very cool factory tour. You can still go there and like take a photo with giant M&Ms and stuff, and like nice. But you just can't tour the factory. But adding it to the list.
Does Hackettstown just smell generally of chocolate, like wafting through the air?
It used to sometimes, yeah.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. And actually too, if you're in closer over to like the Fairlawn Ridgewood area, the Nabisco factory was there,
Mm.
and you could smell that a mile away.
There is a Nichols Bakery in a town near me. So it's just like a bread bakery factory, and it just smells like lovely. I love it. I don't know if I could live
Yeah.
there, or else I would just be constantly eating baguettes. But like it's a great smell.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so next on the list is a little oddity I came across. I really hope it still exists. Everything I found points to yes, question mark, but
Okay.
readers, listeners, please let us know. It's the Chester Highlands Ridge Park telephone pole farm. Do you know about it as a New Jersey native?
No idea.
Okay, so basically, this is part of since 2004. It's been part of Highlands Ridge Park, and that's just like a normal park. But next to it was basically a little plot of land that AT&T used for testing purposes. So basically, in the 1920s, they would basically test all these different wood poles to see how they would stand up to natural predators, birds, rain, whatever, and they would like be marked with all these tags about like what kind of tree this is, and basically just had a ton of poles sticking up out of the ground. And the best fact I saw on it was that it took workers about 90 minutes to mow the lawn. Imagine just like going
Oh my gosh,
all
my nightmare.
yeah. Yeah, so
Wow,
I mean,
looking this up right now. How cool.
right? Like go to Highlands Ridge Park, which is a park. Parks are great, but then you can also see the telephone pole farm with just yeah,
Wow.
right?
Weird. Approximately 700.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 90 minutes to mow. I can only imagine. And that's probably on a riding lawnmower too. Imagine
I would
pushing
just
it. Whew.
get a bunch of those little Roombas and let them go. Like the lawn Roombas. It's their natural habitat. They'll be
See ya.
fine.
Good luck. Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Neat. So we mentioned bread and bakeries. This one is, I feel like you can go anywhere in New Jersey and get a good bagel. That is one of the first things I do when I go to New Jersey or New York.
Mm-hmm.
Bagels galore. And this one in particular, I could probably rattle off like a good 10 to 15 bagel spots, but this one is called Hot Bagels, and it's in Fairlawn, New Jersey. And Hot Bagels, it is. They serve up some of the best bagels I've ever had, and they're always hot. They are like, they offer allergen safe bagels too, because my nephew has a dairy and nut allergy, and he could eat these bagels and he loves
Nice.
them, and I love them. They have a ton of different cream cheese options too to choose
Oh.
from, which is so fun. And then they have just like bagel sandwiches. So like the
Mm.
quintessential, bacon, egg, cheese
Oh.
in a, just like, yes.
Okay,
So
so first of all, what is your top two bagels? If you're going to walk into Hot Bagels, what are you getting?
sesame and everything.
Okay.
What about you?
I like a good everything, but I like the ones that have like the onions and stuff on it too.
Hmm.
Or just plain. I'm a little
Yeah.
basic. But especially if I'm getting like a bacon, egg, and cheese or an egg and cheese on the bagel, I just want
Yeah.
it like plain. I don't want to.
Yes.
I have you seen the TikToks going around about scooped bagels?
No. Oh no. No. What is this?
Basically, people from LA will fly out to New York and ask for a scoop bagel, which is basically just taking all of the bagel out for like calorie reasons. Silly. They made these bagels to be full of deliciousness, and they're like trying to order scooped bagels. And naturally, the people in New York and New Jersey are like, no, I'm not going to do that. Here's your bagel.
Scooping. Okay. So
I'm
scooping
scooping
out
out
the
the bread.
inside. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's not like a flagel where it's flat. It's just like I want a normal bagel but empty.
I don't even know what a flagel is.
It's a flat bagel. It's
That's
just a.
news to me. Aren't they kind of already flat?
I mean, they're like round
Oh, like a
flat, but
chip?
this is like flat flat.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it's not fun anymore. You're like doing it for health reasons. Like it's just
Right.
itty
See,
bitty.
that's funny. The first time I've heard about scooped bread, my fiance loves to go to Publix to eat subs,
Mm,
and one time she was like, "Can you ask them to scoop out the bread?" And I
yeah.
was like, what?
What do you mean?
I was like, why? So every time I order for her, I'm kind of like like, hey, can you scoop out the bread? And they're like, sure, I
Just do it in the car.
guess.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to ask. They
I have
do
like
that
pockets of bread.
at Jimmy John's. I was always so confused. I don't know if you've ever been to the chain, but
Yeah.
it's a sandwich shop and they do the same thing, but they automatically did it. And I just didn't understand like why.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I started doing it too, so I can't really hate.
I will
Um,
say it keeps the stuff in the sandwich in the sandwich. I like that.
yes.
Yeah.
Same. Agreed.
Anyway, welcome to Sandwich
So
Talk.
we always veer off into like sandwiches. I don't know how this happens, but
Well, they deserve respect. So,
yeah, true.
okay, hot bagels. Sounds great.
Yes.
All right. Next up, I would say is the Sterling Hill mine. Slight deviation, but I do think this mine that we also have featured on onlyinyourstate.com is just like a unique place where you can learn about the history of mining, and there's a museum there that you can go through. There's also a little tour, and it's in Ogdensburg in Sussex County. And basically, you can go through 1,300 feet of tunnel inside the mine. And it's a walking tour. So you get to stop at various stations and learn about the mine and learn about the minerals. You cannot, go down to the like lower levels of the mine because it's unsafe and old. So only the first level. It's
Mhm.
not a dangerous place to go, but I think like the mine goes back to like the 1800s. So it's an
Very
old
cool.
hole in the ground that seems very fascinating if you want to learn about some mines. So,
Interesting.
hmm
I'm surprised that you're adding a mine to the list here. Not your favorite.
you know, it's the first floor. I'd be fine.
Okay. Okay. So starting off small. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Very cool. So I am jumping over to Jersey City, New Jersey for the Liberty Science Center. I love a good science center. I don't care how old you are, you always walk away learning something new. And Liberty Science Center was a place that growing up we would take field trips there,
hmm
and they have their planetarium there is the world's fourth largest planetarium.
Whoa, really?
Which,
That's
yes,
cool.
I think, yeah, is very neat. And even if you go just as an adult, they have like tons of exhibitions, they have films, shows, you name it, they have it there in terms of science. And then things rotate too, so you always get
Yeah.
something new. And even like that's a good rainy day activity for the kids
Yeah.
also.
I do love growing up. I love science centers because there's always some sort of interactive exhibit there. And as a kid,
Yes.
it's like that's the best because you can just mess
Yeah.
with it. Even as an adult, that's the best. So,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
yes, I still love them. I'll still go. I
hmm
always learn something, one thing or another.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. Liberty Science Center. Next on my list would be the Popcorn Park Zoo. Have you ever been to Popcorn Park?
Nope.
Okay. So, this is a zoo operated by the Associated Humane Societies, and it's not a real zoo. It's basically an animal refuge. So, it's a small nonprofit that's like a 7-acre farm and animal refuge that is a sanctuary for animals. And it started out because in 1977, they rescued a little raccoon that was caught in like a bear leg trap, and they just wanted to rehabilitate it, and it just grew from there, which I'm
Oh,
just such a sucker for. Think I could live and work at a place like this, just like taking in the animals, helping them,
yes.
making it an educational space. So if you want to go visit the farm or the park and feed some of the animals that you can pet like horses and goats, or see maybe some of the bigger animals that are just being rehabilitated or in a sanctuary setting, it's yeah, so there's exotics, farm animals, birds, and all of these are animals who suffered abandonment, cruelty, injury, illness, are handicapped, have been exploited, are older. Maybe there was inappropriate ownership, like people trying to own exotic animals. So it's just a safe place for them to go after all of that. So
I love that.
yeah,
How cool. Wow. Yeah, it's tough. It's always tough when you hear the word zoo,
yeah.
but it sounds like these people are doing it right.
Yeah, and I want to say I couldn't find evidence of this, but I think they call it Popcorn Park Zoo because in the beginning they would like let you feed the animals with popcorn. I'm
Oh.
fairly sure. If not,
Hmm.
who's going to disagree with me?
We get a slew of emails.
How
Um,
dare?
so just curious, did you read anything about like that you if you come across an animal, you can drop them off, or it's not
I
like that sort of place?
The thing is, I think they only have so much. It's only 7 acres, so you can
Okay.
donate and support. I would say that if you were to come across a hurt animal, reaching out to something like the Popcorn Park Zoo is probably something good to do. But a lot of states do have like wildlife sanctuaries and refuges. Ref, refuges? Yeah, there we go. So like even nearby there's one I've had friends like they saw a hurt hawk in the road and you can like take it. You just have to like Google any like wildlife rehabilitation centers and you can find that. So if
Yeah.
they won't take it, someone else might.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent ad. I that place sounds great.
Thanks.
Okay, so pivoting here a little bit, we are adding to this list Frank Sinatra Park in Hoboken. Um, uh, Frank Sinatra, born in Hoboken. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm assuming that you've added some Sinatra to the. Okay,
He made it on the list. It's
okay, I was hoping so. And Springsteen, I didn't even look.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh, I mean,
cool.
there was
Okay,
okay. So the playlist that we make for these road trip episodes, New Jersey is stacked. I will
heck
say,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you add any bleachers?
No.
Oh,
Well, I
interesting.
will. Okay, I'll
Uh
look it
oh.
up. There were some
Okay.
things that I wanted to add for some of the playlists that were either explicit. I was trying to avoid explicit, not to say Bleachers is, but there were some bands that I had to like kind of sidestep around, which is unfortunate
Right.
because I just wanted to make a family friendly playlist. So
Yeah.
if there are any additions that you want to make, I mean,
Okay.
it's open.
No, that's great. I think obviously Frank Sinatra is one of the big ones, and this park should be added to the list. Even if you really don't care too much about Frank Sinatra, you're right on the water here, across from Manhattan, on the Hudson River. This is a waterfront park where you could people bring their dogs. You can walk around. There's a huge soccer field, and it's just a really nice place if you want to bring a blanket on a beautiful day, pack a picnic, and just kind of enjoy looking at the New York skyline from this park. They have little hills that you can sit on top of and just walk around. And it's one of my favorite places to go when I'm in New Jersey because it's just a peaceful place. People are running, they're playing, there's, playgrounds for kids, and it's just absolutely beautiful.
Nice. Okay. Next on my list is I think we referenced something like this before, and I don't think it was this exact one, but please correct me if I'm wrong. But the Morris Museum Guinness Collection of Automata, like
Hmm,
automatons, basically. No,
interesting. No,
okay.
not ringing a bell.
So it's basically a collection of like automated machines and robots and dolls, musical instruments. It's a little bit like kitschy, but also a little bit horrifying because there are a lot of like automaton dolls that like,
Oh
are
no.
set. Yeah.
Hmm.
So basically, the Morris Museum was awarded this collection from the Murtaugh D. Guinness Collection of 750 historic mechanical musical instruments and automata, which are the mechanical figures, and more than 5,000 program media. So that's like player piano rolls and stuff like that. So that way, just like this collection of auto running things, and you can go and visit and just see all of these like really intricate, strange designs and inventions. And
Hmm.
it's, the collection I think spans like 300 or 400 years. So
Wow.
technological advancement has, come a long way since then. So I think it's fascinating to see how they did some of these things back in the day. Um,
Very
so
cool.
yeah, it's sort of like an art exhibition slash museum.
I
So
love that.
yeah.
I love that these places that you're finding I've never heard about.
That's good.
And
That's great.
yeah,
Okay.
no, you always find like really cool spots. I feel like that maybe just are just like flying under the radar when people are doing average Google searches for things to do.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So my final one for today, no surprise, involves food, and it's pizza in particular.
Okay.
So, for anybody that's familiar with New Jersey and New York, the best pizza in the world, dare I say. Um,
Okay.
but again, I can rattle off probably 10 to 15 pizza places that you should visit when you're in New Jersey. But I particularly chose Tony Baloney's, um,
Confusing. No.
not just for the name,
Okay.
but they have a bunch of different pizza shops. My favorite is in Hoboken. It's just like this little kind of hole in the wall. And they have really cool pizza, subs, wings, fries, salad, you name it. They have it. And particularly delicious pizza, and also sometimes very weird creations of pizza.
Oh, I had
Yeah,
to Google. Yeah. Okay.
yes. So they have actually just a very famous social media pizza that is tacos. It's a variety of tacos in a pizza shape. In the middle
I
there's
see that.
guacamole. Yeah. So you can get your classic New Jersey regular cheese plain pizza, but then you could do, some weird stuff
So
which
garlic parmesan, roasted broccoli, dry aged mozzarella, and chimichurri. Like,
right.
yes.
Yes. And the cool thing about it is you don't have to go in and get uh like a whole pie. You can go if they have slices available, you could just grab a couple slices and try it. It's like having your very own pizza flight, which
This
gotta love.
looks, oh my God, that
Yeah.
perfect date night. Just go and get a flight of pizza, all the slices.
Yes. And they have
Nice.
vegan options too, delicious vegan options, which is very hard to find in terms of pizza, but
Consider me going to Tony Baloney the next time I am in. So this is only in
yeah.
Jersey?
I want to say yes.
Okay,
I want
yeah.
to say they have a couple of options. Atlantic City. Oh, and it says on their website they ship nationwide. So you can get it
What?
on goldbelly.com and you can get,
I'm 100% doing
uh,
this later
oh
on
my
today.
gosh, can't wait. Let me know how that goes. But yeah, like going to Tony Baloney's, getting a pizza, walking over to Sinatra Park. It doesn't get much better than
That is a very New Jersey sentence.
that.
Whew. Nice.
Yes.
All right, and that was it. That was my list. I think we ended on a great note.
Awesome.
Tony Baloney's pizza. I'm gonna order some for myself. I need it. I want it.
Can't
Looks
wait for the
great.
bonus episode. Just record yourself eating it and give us
Yeah,
all the
like
updates.
give it. What's that? A mukbang where they have like all the all the food. Ugh.
This podcast is taking a turn. Um, all right. That is our list for the best places to visit in New Jersey. We have a companion article that's going to be in the show notes that you can click on, and we'll have even more stops. We'll also have an interactive map that you can kind of pick and choose the places you want to go and curate your own trip. And then Sarah comes up with really awesome playlists for every episode. This is going to be New Jersey specific. So, yeah, just enjoy all things New Jersey.
Sounds great.